There's been a lot of talk about Steve Angeli's nickname. Heck, I kind of thought about it when I was thinking about how I was going to address him when the season started. Steve Peanut Butter and Jelly. You know what? I always thought, one of these times he doesn't do good. Steve Peanut Butter and Jelly was going to get himself into a jam. And I mean, heck, he might be toasted. And what kind of bread would he like? White, wheat, rye, sourdough? You don't know. But I mean, heck, they didn't really get themselves into a jam against Colgate. And you know what? You needed those tubes of toothpaste to get rid of that jam, because heck, it could build acid on your enamel and you could have tooth decay. Well, hell, you know what we did with Colgate? No, get the water. That's what we did. And I knew we wouldn't really have trouble with Colgate, but the thing is, it was troubling to see what the defense did. Gave up over 400 yards and gave up 24 points to Colgate. Yeah, our offense scored 66. A nice 66. To get us back into the win column. To get us to 2-1. You might have thought that's what we were going to do against our old friends from Hamilton. But you know what? Giving up 24 to a team that wasn't exactly the best in its FCS conference last year, but pretty much had gone out and lost their first couple of games, you know what? That is troubling, especially with the ACC schedule and Notre Dame later on in the season coming up. Yeah, we go down to Death Valley, and not in California. We go down to South Carolina to face those Tigers of Clemson, who themselves are seething after losing to Georgia Tech. Heck, those Tigers got stung by some Yellow Jackets. And you know what? How Tigers are when they're mad. They're not purring. They're roaring. Roar! Roar! Of course, they're flicking those big striped tails around. Hey, watch where you're sticking that thing. Well, you know what? We gotta watch it going down there to Death Valley. SU and Clemson coming up this Saturday. And of course, we heard another dreaded noon kickoff, which is what this is and what next week is when Duke comes up to the Dome. Heck, yeah, it's not basketball, but Duke's football team has actually played some pretty good football the last couple of years. You never know about how it is around that Golden Triangle. We play Duke, we play North Carolina and Bill Belichick on Halloween. How come we didn't schedule North Carolina State? You know what? It would have been a great thing having the Research Triangle, a.k.a. Tobacco Road. But of course, the game that a lot of people are looking forward to when we go down to Dallas to play SMU. It'll only be the second time we play those ponies. We played them 93 years ago up here in the Archibald Stadium and lost 16-6. It's going to be an interesting ACC slate coming up after brushing our teeth with Colgate. We might need to do that again. Nah, I'll wait till I get home. Good job, Syracuse. Good job, Peanut Butter and Jelly. And we got to see Ricky Collins. But boy, did he telegraph that one pass, It's a message. Yeah? In code. What is it? Don't throw the damn ball, you LSU transfer. Heck, Brian Kelly can't keep his composure. How about you? Oh, I'm going to go from talking about the Cuse to talking about the Bills. It was kind of troubling in a way watching the defense against Baltimore, yet we still won it. But the defense came alive against the Jets. I thought we might have trouble stopping Fields. You know what? He pretty much stopped himself. We really held him in the passing game, Of course, the Jets don't have too many weapons, and the running game pretty much was non-existent. And of course, with our running game, I saw that Joe Brady, I'm saying operative word, Joe Brady, not Tom Brady, who's thinking a comeback playing up 3-on-3 football. And I'm like, do we have to see his ugly face again? Heck, Buffalo had too much of it for over 20 years. Now he's doing a pathetic calling on CBS. I can't really swear, but heck, he's thinking of coming back on 3-on-3 football. But I digress. A big win for the Bills. Great running by James Cook. And boy, can that guy cook. Not only that, he can fry. And also, Allen showing his magic. Running and passing. He didn't really have to be otherworldly passing this time. But you know what? When a game plan works, it works. A big 30-10 beating of our rivals. And of course, coming up, we got our other division rivals. We got some fish coming in. And heck, we can do it anyway. Breaded, filleted, everything. Yeah. And the thing is, I think we beat Miami, which I hope we do. This could be McDaniel's last game as the Dolphins coach. And then we don't have to see his pathetic wardrobe anymore. Heck, he wears glasses, but you know what? So do I. It's just the rest of his wardrobe stinks. You know what? Heck, if we win, a good riddance, McDaniel. That's all I have to say. It's the fish coming up on Thursday. And let's hope Thursday night football isn't an omen. Heck, it's on Prime Video. And now I go from talking about the Bills to talking local. Who knew that Minders and Waterloo were identical? Yeah, both of them lost by identical 38-8 scores, which only proves my point. Should Minders and Waterloo maybe combine squads? Because heck, I think there's one squad, somewhere in Section 5 that's combined of like 5 schools. Heck, I told you, if Caledonia Mumford and Leroy, bitter rivals, can combine squads to survive, you know what? That only shows that, hey, participation in Section 5 football, it's become pathetic. You gotta wonder, hey, is this almost the death of Section 5 football? I hope not. No, too many of these combined squads. You know what? Maybe it's time Minders and Waterloo thought that in order to field a competitive team. Heck, we had that pathetic experiment playing 8-man football. That's for the states out in the Midwest, not in New York State. Come on, students. Participate in football. Participate in extracurricular activities. We need to see more of that because, hey, it is part of the educational experience when you're going through high school. You know, participation in that only helps you in your future, and yeah, it helps you in your grades. Come on, kids, let's go. And the last thing I have to say about this week, yeah, it's getting to crunch time with baseball. But a lot of people are wondering, is this it for Aaron Boone as the manager for the Yankees? Because right now the Yankees are pretty much on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. But of course, Aaron is having a big year. Heck, for a while he flirted with 400 till he came back to earth. He's now about 320. But he's hit nearly 50 home runs. Of course, a lot of people are looking at that kid there. I think he's from Seattle, Raleigh, who's hit over 50 home runs. And you know what? Maybe Judge out of Raleigh if he wants the home run crown. Of course, we'll see what happens with the Yankees, but if Aaron can't do it, don't judge him. And that's all I have to say on this week's show. And yet I do have to say, rest in peace, Robert Redford. Great career.